What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having a great day. I'm back again. I feel like I literally just made a video because as soon as I did, I went out to do the lawn. Of course, the weed whacker wasn't working, had to borrow the neighbors. So then, in the kindness of my heart, I'm mowing his effing lawn. And then I realized, oh my God, the Sixers are coming on, and Joel Embiid is about to be handed that MVP trophy. So, need to see that. So, my God, it rushed in here, try to throw this together as quick as I can. But thank God it's Fan Friday. So, therefore, this is your show. Any questions, any comments that you have, please feel free to leave them down below. Got a couple of questions from the mailbag I'm going to be answering from you, the fans. But anything you guys have you want to throw in here, I will try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. And you guys can help me answer some of these other questions. But hope you're all having a great week. What a wild week it has been. The draft was so amazing last week and still reeling from it. Taking on the rookie minicamp today, getting all the new jersey numbers, talking about the trades, everything we could possibly talk about under the sun. Hopefully you were able to catch all of those videos, the updated cap space, updated future draft picks, all of those things you would need to know. And tomorrow I'm going to do a little recap, try to explain to people why I feel this is a dynasty. I'm going to repeat what I've already said, the last couple of months here. But now that we did add those pieces we talked about via trade, via the draft, and we're not done yet. So I feel pretty strongly, but I want to take a look at each position, and I'm going to break it down like I did last year, where you get a look at all of the positions. You can see every single player that is there. You get to take a gander what they look like, all their little pictures and the height and the weight and the everything you need to know about them. So we will break down this entire roster, gander per se, at the future for the Philadelphia Eagles. So going to be breaking that down. Got the little man's birthday party on Sunday, and tomorrow's show might either be really early or really late, depending on just how crazy things are for the little man's birthday. So going to do my best to keep pumping out this content here this weekend. Liz, appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, it's even nicer when you realize he's a Cowboys fan. But no, he's an all right person. But he always gets ball busted, that. But I actually used to work with him years and years ago. But thankfully, he was just getting home. I'm out there punching my weed whacker, and I asked him if I could use his. So I figured, well, if he allowed me to do that, might as well go above and beyond here. So I do what I can, and you guys know me. I'd give the shirt off my back if I could for you guys. So appreciate you tuning in, Liz. I am real enough. If I've got grass in my face or hair, I apologize, but I didn't even clean up. I'm going to try to do this all really fast because I'm not trying to miss this effing trophy ceremony. So let's get it going. Appreciate you tuning in, my man William. Doing well. Hope you are doing well also. And yes, Jamal, we truly do. And one of the things I talked about going in this draft, a lot of people saying this roster, we're screwed. We don't have this. We don't have that. We have to draft. We have to. And it's like, nah, I didn't feel we had to do anything. We drafted a defensive tackle #1 last year. And I said, I don't care. I want a defensive tackle #1 again this year. Now, they're two completely different players. One is more of a 1-3 technique. The other one, well, he can play 1-5. He's an effing animal. So they both have their spots. And look, I talked about it. We're going to add the best players available here, and we're just going to stack this already stacked roster, because what people didn't realize was, and Liz asked a very great question. So you know what? Let's just actually bring that up, because it kind of ties into what you're saying there, Jamal, but I agree with you 100%. But appreciate those of you who got the questions into the mailbag this Friday. But Liz was the first one, so we're going to take a gander at hers. And it's a great question here. It's a funny one that we all have to deal with here, but let's take a look here. Why, and I paraphrase this here, but why do fans of other teams think we fell off just because we lost some players? And Liz had added in, it's not like we didn't get any replacements. And I hear you 100%. And before the draft, it was horrendous, all that chatter. And trust me, I kept hearing it nonstop. People kept telling me, we lost Hargrave. We lost CJ. We lost TJ. It's over. It's all over. And it's like, no, dude. That's why you drafted Nakobe Dean. That's why you drafted Jordan Davis, Milton Williams. That's why you have guys like Reed Blankenship. You bring in Terrell. I mean, we knew what was coming this year, that we would probably lose some players, but that's fine. We have Howie Roseman. We had the draft picks, and I said it before the draft even happened, or free agency, that I think we're still building a dynasty here, because you have Jalen Hurts. You're going to lock him up. You're going to draft well. You're going to sign the free agents you need. And well, all those things have happened. So to me, Liz, that's just called being an effing hater. And a lot of it is also just lack of education. A lot of people don't watch football or are not in tune like we are. So it's what's the hot take for the week? What do they hear on the radio? That, I think you had mentioned or somebody mentioned earlier about someone gave the Eagles draft grade a C- or something. It's like, look, man, if they don't know football, they should just come out and say that. It's fine. And look, it's predominantly most of all what we have to hear is just shit being made up by people. And it's brutal. But the haters are. And what's weird is the last few years, these undercover Eagles fans that, hate on the Eagles too. So it's like, Jesus. But we try to educate them. You know the saying, Liz. What is it? That's right. They keep hating. We keep educating. So I think for me, they look at these big names. It's just like when you sign someone, he could be 57 years old, but as long as they have a name, but it's like, look, man, there's a lot of things that go into football that people just surpass, like not having a basic understanding of what math is. And then all of a sudden they're cap experts. That to me, I don't know where they get that idea, because if you can't even do basic math, I'm not sure how you think you're doing the accounting part, but it's always laughable. I think it just comes down from a deep place where people are projecting a lot of whatever's going on with them, whether it's about football or whatever else, but a lot of negativity out there in the world today. I saw one of these people I really enjoy following posted something earlier today about a little vacation she was on or something, like just a picture of the hotel, and someone's like, oh, dude, F you, man. And it's just like, really, dude? Like, people just want to spread that misery, man. I don't know, Liz. And, the haters right now, they're feeling pretty hurt. You got to understand that this roster is going to be better than the roster last year. So for them, having to come to terms with that, it's much easier to just, create this false reality and just live it in that. And they better just keep on sipping or shooting or whatever they're doing and drift away, because the Eagles are here in reality and we are about to destroy them all. So let them keep hating. We'll keep educating. But Liz, it's a great question. I don't know. You lost to Hargrave. We drafted Jalen Carter. Oh, yeah, well, you don't have TJ Edwards and Kaiser. Well, that's why we drafted Nakobe Dean and brought in Nicholas Morrow. Yeah, but CJ, it's like, look, bro, I understand you don't know what you're talking about. And CJ Gardner-Johnson, I liked him a lot. Thought we should lock him up, but he had an agency that didn't know what they were doing, so he got screwed. So unfortunate for him. But people get made to look better in a defense like the one we had last year with Jonathan Gannons. Now, Sean Desai, I think, is going to have an even better defense. So not to say you could just plug anybody back there, but you saw how many missed tackles. You saw his struggles in coverage, but yet he was still, this guy's the best safety in the world. So I think when you have a pass rush like we do, and it's going to be even better this year, and you've got the other pieces in place, like the best trio of cornerbacks in the game, makes it much easier. So Reed Blankenship, second year under his belt. Terrell Edmonds coming in to help the room. And you guys know my infatuation with Sidney Brown before the draft. And the fact that we got him, I'm pretty excited about that. So I think he'll be a starter sooner rather than later. But my thought process has been, we're going to use a lot of schemes where you see three safeties, and he's that third safety that fits that bill that we talk about, that dime linebacker, that guy that just, he's a jack of all trades, man. He's that joker. You can line him up all over the place and certain matchups. And I like the kid a lot. You guys know that. So pumped up about it. We replaced what we need to. You lost Miles. We just traded for DeAndre Swift and brought in Rashad Penny. This running back room is going to be better than it was last year. So I know a lot of people don't like me saying Tyler Steen at right guard, but this might upset some people, but he actually, in individual drills, they had him right at right guard right away. Now, the starters aren't there. We're talking about only the young men, but for those people saying he can only play tackle, that's why he was put at literally right guard today, because I was not, and you guys know, I'm not one of those people like most of the other people out there that just make stuff up. I have a source and he said they were trading for Tyreek Hill, like all that stuff they make up every week. I told you, Jeff Stoutland, my source works with these people every day, and told me he effing loves Tyler Steen and he thinks he's going to be the next great right guard for us. Put him in the same bill as someone else, if you guys remember that we were talking about, and I don't even like to say it, but it's like, bro, if he can get on that level, holy shit. But he loves him, and he thinks he can be that right guard. He just thinks he has the athleticism. And we're talking about Jeff Stoutland. And I got people telling me, You don't know what you're talking. Look, and I said, this is not my breakdown. I'm not someone that's an expert in Tyler Steen. I know he was a left tackle at Alabama. We broke it down. Didn't think we needed a tackle, but we talked about the versatility of those linemen in the draft and look out for somebody that can play a little guard. Now, this dude never did it, but if they had him in, they watched his workout, he showed them what they could do. It doesn't matter. He was just that good at left tackle. It doesn't mean he can't. So he did come in and impress us, and Jeff Stoutland effing loves him, and he wants him to be the right guard. So for me, that's all I needed to hear. I understand Joe Schmo and old Schmegma out there think that they know more than Jeff Stoutland, but for me, I'm going to pass on that. But today, hey, that's the world we live in today. It's wild, 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 wild. But you know it, Liz. You know they're just hating, man. It's a lack of education. It's like when the people, like yesterday, I had a couple people, something about the cap, and I just said, I'd love for you to try to explain the cap to me, please. I mean, I'm waiting for you, please. And they always bow. It's just, no, I walked into the wrong room here. And it's like, why go around acting like you know about shit that you don't know about? It's like, there are people that actually put work in and know about this stuff. Maybe listen to them. Just an idea, but maybe they'll just continue listening to the experts who never get anything right. Whatever. We as Eagles fans, Liz, we're ready to run through walls, baby. So that is all that matters to us, right? Let them keep hating. Seriously, because they're going to have to serve up a lot of that this year. They're going to have to be really in their feelings because this team, we're about to show them. We're getting that trophy back. My man Drew in the building, and just in time, about to get to your question here. I unfortunately did not want to make this a short one for you. Tomorrow, I'm going to make it a nice one. We'll have a nice breakdown and talk, but wanted to get to your questions. I do not want to miss Joel Embiid getting that effing trophy. But Drew, my man, you were the other question from the mailbag. So let's jump right into it. Here is Drew's question. What changes would you like to see the offense now that Brian Johnson is the offensive coordinator? And again, I paraphrase these. So yeah, he had actually threw in some of his thoughts as well on the fact that, he would like to see more reads for Jalen Hurts and less Houdiniing, I believe it was that he said. I tried to look it up real quick while I was talking, but can't see it. But I know he said something, and that's exactly along the lines of where I'm going there. For me, Brian Johnson, we talked about what he was going to do. You remember when everybody, oh my God, Hurts can't develop. He could never get better. And it's like, okay. For me, when I had his trainer on, his chef, when I wanted to know what the guy was eating, sleeping, I tried to tell you guys everything about Jalen Hurts I possibly could. And, it got a lot of hate for that, but that's perfectly fine. Again, let them keep hating. I'll keep educating. But for me, Brian Johnson was huge. Not only, family, friend, his dad. Yeah, it's great. Try to get him to come to Florida. Yeah, it's great. So we knew all that stuff. But Brian Johnson's actually, okay, first off, if you guys remember, if you're old like me, Brian Johnson was back on the NCAA cover back when we still effing played NCAA football. So he's played the game. And not only that, but he started coaching right after in like 2010 in Utah. And he's been doing it ever since, helping out quarterbacks like Kyle Trask. I mean, the dude is working his magic out here. And I think we were all very excited for him to be brought in here. Now, if you remember what we talked about, I said, I don't think Shane Steichen or Jonathan Gannon are going to pass 2 years here. They're just too good of coaches. They will be hired. They're both gone. But what we talked about was, in that time, Brian Johnson. We also talked about Denard Wilson, too. We had in-house candidates that I felt pretty damn comfortable with that I thought would pretty much, keep the ship going here. And, Drew, I remember you tuning in throughout the coaching search, and we talked about this. Perfect candidate is Brian Johnson, because not only is he going to essentially run the same offense, but he's going to add his flavor to it. And this dude's a quarterback guru. He's the one really work. And look, I'm not trying to take away from Steichen or Kevin Patullo or Alex Taney or anybody else who was helping out. I'm just saying Brian Johnson and he have a very close relationship, and there is a reason that Nick Sirianni moved him up. Now, the plan is for him to be a play-calling offensive coordinator. So they really have been keeping their eye on him the last couple of years. He's doing and saying the things they want to hear that lets them know we're going to be running the same style, right? Now, we are actually still one of the, when it comes to percentage-wise, we run the ball more than most teams, which is crazy because last year How many times did we say it, Drew? Run the damn ball. So drove me insane, drove us all insane, but they were running the ball. But I don't care. You guys know stats, numbers. I bring them along for the party, but you got to take them with a grain of salt because it's about when are you running the ball. We're smacking the shit out of teams. Yeah, of course you're running the ball a lot in the second half, and you should be. But in the first half of games, there's times where it's like, wait, we're in the second quarter, 6 minutes are left, and Miles Sanders just now has a carry. No. See, that shit, that's got to stop. So what I'm hopeful for is not only that, where they gave more progressions, more reads to Jalen Hurts last year. We saw him develop in front of our eyes. He's going to continue doing that. Talked about last year how big it was going to be for him to be able to learn how to play quarterback in the NFL rather than learning a playbook like he had to do every single year since high school. Always a new offense. Not last year. Dude puts on MVP level performance, goes to the Super Bowl, should have won it without the field crew and the refs and the Chiefs all together. We probably could have beat all three of them if we just got a chance. But regardless of that, dude, this dude is balling. And a big thanks to Brian Johnson for that. Now, they know that. So that way, you take the guy that has been helping him develop, and now you put him in charge. Ricky Bobby's next door. I apologize for that. That's the other neighbor. He's a High Plains drifter. So sorry about that. But anyways, I'm going to beat your ass anyways. What was I just saying? Brian Johnson. So Brian Johnson, honestly, I think he's going to implement the things that help Hurts. One of those things, running the effing ball, taking a lot of the hits away from Hurts, making it easier on him. But Hurts is going to continue to develop as a quarterback. He's going to know how to have pre-snap audibles and things going on that Brian Johnson didn't put in there. So they're on the same page. All I expect here is for them to just kind of have that connection, man. That's what I want to see more of. I don't want any confusion. They know what they want to run. I think we're going to be a dynasty. I really do. I think we're going to be so effing dominant that Jalen Hurts is going to be so unstoppable with Sean Desai, what he's bringing to the defense. I'm just confident in it, and I won't change my ways. And I know a lot of people are going to start saying, like, I'll be the first to say dynasty, but you won't, because I've been trying to get people on board, and it's always funny to hear that stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, I've been trying for a while to get people to be Eagles fans. It's crazy. But if this doesn't make you excited, I don't know what will. Got these New Jersey numbers earlier today. Go check out that video explaining all of the numbers, all that great stuff. But excitement is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you're all ready for this season, because I know I'm ready to run through an effing wall already, man. Already. Let's effing go, Birds. Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, doing my best, my man. But peek a ball. Not sure who you were talking about. My apologies, my man. What are some of the biggest risks and concerns the Eagles face with their previous current draft picks? What? Yeah, as I said, though, I'm going to get rolling out here in a minute, so I'll try to. Biggest risks Eagles face. You're going to practice hard. So we're going to practice hard, and we're going to do that. But tomorrow I'll be talking about all those people in the roster breakdown. Just worried about a linebacker. A lot of people are, but as we've talked about excessively here, Nolan Smith will be off ball. That's what Nakobe Dean's for, Nicholas Morrow. So very excited about that. But tomorrow will be that roster breakdown, the draft picks, the cap space, every question you have ever had. It's all going to be there for you tomorrow. So hoping that it's going to be tomorrow afternoon, but got to get rolling out here. Got to catch this Sixers game. Got to get cleaned up beforehand, but appreciate all of you getting those questions in. Appreciate you tuning in here. But if you have questions, feel free to leave them down below in these comments. I will happily answer all of them because I had to cut this short. Happily get those in. You think Nolan Smith will be over-under? I have no idea yet. Worried about a lot. Yes. So, my man, I hope to see you tomorrow. Sorry, I really got to get going. Not trying to cut you guys short, but I do got to get rolling out here. I love every one of you for tuning in here. If you're watching later or you want to continue this, as soon as I hit that end button, put your thoughts down below. You want to ask a question I just try to make real quick? Ask it again. I will give you a long answer when I have a second to actually think about it. But ladies and gentlemen, hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Hope you tune in tomorrow. That's going to be loaded with content. So I hope to see you there. But if you need me, reach on out. You want to talk some birds? Hope to see it down below. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Let's effing go Sixers MVP. Joel Embiid, baby. You love to see it. You all stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Oh, and Liz, Drew, appreciate you guys getting those questions in. Now let's try it again. Go Birds!